Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to day 5 of the 31 Days of Horror. DBougie86 here again. Yes, guys, today, the film I got for you guys today is a film from this year, 2018, and it doesn't have any type of physical release at the moment. It's in the festival circuits, and I had a special opportunity to check out the film and review it for you guys today. And the film in question is Camp Death 3 in 2D. Yes. Now, this film is directed by Matt Frame, and pretty much it's in the festival circuit. This film, it's a very indie, do-it-yourself film, and he's trying to get distribution for the title. So he's having us review it and check it out. So I said I would, I always support indie cinema, and I wanted to check this out. It sounded interesting for me because I seen a few videos on the subject. I kind of stared away from like certain reviews of it just because of people that review certain things are more spoilerish than others, that type of deal. So pretty much the main thing about Camp Death 3 in 2D is it is a horror parody of type of films that we all grew up loving, like the Friday the 13th films, which it's very reminiscent of. And you could see that, especially with the title, especially like Friday the 13th Part 3 in 3D. It's kind of like play on that words in that film in general. And a lot of like scenarios and characters are reminiscent of Friday the 13th characters. Now, the major plot of this film, get ready for this, guys. Pretty much it's a setup to the sequel of the third in a trilogy of films, and they talk about the two films that came before, like Camp Death 1 and 2, through like flashbacks through a certain scene in the film. But then what ends up happening is it goes right into the third film in the series. Now, it opens up with this camp called Camp Crystal Meth. Yes, you see where we're going with this, guys. And they're trying to reopen the park again. Todd and his uncle who owns the park. Todd's bright idea is to recuperate mentally challenged and mentally wrong people in the head type deal to work at the camp and be campers at the camp with counselors, dividing like a reprogram for these people pretty much. So that ends up happening, and once it sets up, the killer in question that they hear the legend of, and the killer from the previous movies, Johan Van Dam, yes, I know, comes, and it seems to be him going around killing people one by one, typical Friday the 13th style slasher, but very, very different and very over the top at the same time. Now, my thoughts on this film. This film had me busting a gut laughing at certain parts, guys. I was fully entertained with it because it has like that over-the-top humor that I get in these type of films because of the aspect of the acting, which means a little critical examination of this. So if you're like a normal film goer and you're not used to like these type of movies, you might say that this is very, very, very bad acting. But with the aspect of it is they're playing very over-the-top versions of cliched characters pretty much. So it comes off even more over-the-top than you would see in like a normal like 80s slasher, which some of them are over-the-top still, but this is like full caliber, like explosion over-the-top. And there's a lot of like subplots and shit in this one that goes through like not even just slasher films. There's like homages to like other movies in this. Like one character who's actually in the thumbnail kind of reminded me of Joan Collins in 16 Candles, just the look of her. And that's all I thought about when I was looking at that character. And there's this fucking crazy scene where, yes, the head of the camp, who's Todd's uncle, I can't think of the name off the top of my head, but yes, there's like this puppet squirrel that keeps like rampaging the camp and him and personally. So he goes full blown like Bill Murray Caddyshack and starts to try to hunt this squirrel down. And the squirrel comes and goes in the movie. Like there's one scene involving the squirrel later that just had me fucking dying laughing. It involved like some white powdery substance. I'll just put it that way without giving too much away. But it was fucking hilarious. I was dying the whole time because I was having like flashbacks to like Caddyshack and shit in my mind. Like, I know a lot of people don't like the gopher from Caddyshack, but I think it's fucking hilarious the way it interacts with like Bill Murray in that movie. And this is like the same thing, so it's fucking funny to me. But, you know, like I said, like if you're not used to like the over-the-top nature of this, it's not going to be for everyone per se. And especially with some of the effects are come through like some practical to some questionable like CGI, like fire effects and certain things, but some of it looks good because you could tell like some of it was shot in green screen because there's like this whole like sequence that pays homage to a certain science fiction film that is very popular. I don't want to really spoil it if you haven't seen the movie. You've probably seen clips of the trailer so you guys know what I'm talking about, but that actually looked pretty good, you know what I mean, for what it was. And I was actually surprised how good that scene looked. And then fucking, it just gets over the top, and I like the humor of that scene too. And, you know, with the kind of effects that are in this film, with like the cartoony, like, computer effects, it kind of works in the film's favor, in my opinion, because of the aspect of its cartooniness. And, you know, it just blends well, and it just has that aspect that I really dig in films of this nature. Like, if films like Tokyo Gore Police and like The Machine Girl could have like these cartoony effects because they're supposed to be like full-blown manga style films, why can't this one for its nature? But there is some aspects of the film that I feel kind of make it a little too goofy. Like there's this one like musical sequence. Some of the musical sequences work for me, but then this one of them in the very beginning of the film was very odd and kind of like front and center because it was like a scene-stealing scene, you know what I mean? It just involved one character in the very beginning, and he starts having like a musical number, which kind of was weird to me, you know? But overall, I had fun with this film, so if you could look past like the cheesiness and the over-the-topness of it, I say check it out. It has a lot of great hints to like Friday the 13th and other slashers in general, and if I had to rate it, I'm going to give it a solid 7 out of 10. Just because I enjoy this one, and it was a very enjoyable watch. So, with all the quirkiness and the issues that the low budgetness of the film has, it still kept me entertained and intertwined with the plot enough to keep me interested what was going on with the rest of this film. So, yeah, that's it for this review, guys. 7 out of 10. I'm gonna leave because there is no like release for this film at the moment. I'm going to leave the link to the Facebook page for Camp Death 3 and 2D. Give them a like and shoot them a message and tell them you want to support the film and get the message out there, because this film, I think, should be seen by more people because of the aspect of it's made by fans of these films that are paying homage, and they do it in a very funny and humorous way, which kind of works in its favor, in my opinion. So 7 out of 10 for Camp Death 3. That's all I got on it. Alright guys, that's it for this review for the day. I'll see you soon. This review's a little longer than usual, but I had a lot more to say with this because it's a film that I think more people should check out. So I'll see you tomorrow. I don't know what I'm going to review as always. So I'll see you then. Peace out.